Welcome to Family Basics 101. I'm Dr. Bruce McClure, and as we begin a five-part series entitled Five Things You Should Not Do, we will discuss over the next 5 lessons that you should not worry. You should not be afraid. You should not doubt. You should not be bitter. And you should not be lonely. Let's begin the 5-part series by first discussing you should not worry. What does the word worry mean? To torment self or attempt to torment others based upon inner thoughts and inner cares that first originates inside of oneself. To pull, to tear, based upon the feelings of uneasiness, of the emotions that originates inside of oneself. A synonym for worry is troubled, an attitude of torment that is chronic is called general anxiety. And for the most part, people who experience a chronic or a general anxiety disorder that is ongoing, that is consistently elevated, is actually in a lot of stress, a lot of torment, but also it can lead to abnormal health mentally and physically that may need to be addressed at a more serious level. Individuals who experience this general anxiety disorder are really abnormal worriers. They worry about things like, will the car last for the next 3 years? But they just bought the car yesterday. Will we have enough money to pay next month's bills? And they just put the money or the check in the mail for the bills for this month. Will the children's children be able to go to summer camp when they are born? They're not even in the world yet. So when we talk about general anxiety disorder or people who worry abnormally, we're talking about people who, in essence, somebody well stated, they are not only extreme worriers, but they worry about worrying. Everything becomes an opportunity or a moment of anxiety. Dr. Jim White, a clinical psychologist at Clydebank Healthcare Center in Glasgow, has formulated the following indicators of individuals who are extreme worriers or that have what we call the general anxiety disorder. They consistently have severe headaches, chronic muscle tightness, shortness of breath, racing heart rates, chronic back and neck pains, extreme tiredness, dizziness, sweating profusely, restlessness, and easy agitation or irritability. So when you look at yourself or people around you that seem to worry about worries and worry about life and that are never able to be relaxed and enjoy life, this is a thing that is not healthy for people to do on an ongoing basis. Antidepressants are helpful for some people to properly manage the worry anxiety, but cognitive development is also helpful because it helps the individual modify or at least begin to develop a plan of modifying the way one thinks about events, the future, the present, people, and outcomes. So we understand there is possibly a need for medications, but there's also a need for a mind modification, or the way that individuals think and the way that individuals process life around them. Cognitive development assists individuals in learning to take a more positive control over their outlook and attitude, not only toward themselves, but also toward others. Their problem-solving skills are nurtured and encouraged to be utilized to calm their own internal worry. Because in most situations, the worry escalation is internal to the individual and not to the situations or the people they are around. In the book of Matthew chapter 6, verses 25 and 27, the Bible says from Jesus, "Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit to his stature?" There's one word in both verse 25 and 27 that I think is worthy of noting, and it's the word thought. That word means to draw into dissecting or multiple directions. It's a dividing of self. And Jesus says, "Therefore I say unto you, do not draw yourself into so many different directions. Do not make yourself anxious." It creates an internal anxiety, but the Bible gives us to know that when there is habitual, perpetual worrying, it comes from the individual. But the opposite of that is, or the contradiction of that is, individuals who are chronic worriers will say the reason they are worrying is because of the external environment around them, people, places, things, events, and everything else. Jesus says, "I say to you, take no dividing, take no various directions of yourself." And then he says in verse 27, "Which of you, by choosing to split yourselves in multiple different component parts, directions for this, directions for that, anxieties for this, anxieties for that, worries," he says, "which of you, by taking upon yourself so many different directions that you're headed in, can add 1 cubit unto his stature?" In other words, when you do this, does it add value to your life? The answer is a resounding, it takes value away. So as we move through the lessons, here's a thing that people should not do, and that is worry. I'll see you back in class again next time. Don't be late, and don't skip class.